The death of Nigerian singer Mohbad has been making the rounds lately. And there is a lot of controversy surrounding his death. Because I don't understand, somebody died less than 24 hours and his family are rushing to bury him. Is there something about his death that they don't want us to know? Is there something about his death that made them rush like that? Because I know when they believe death brings bad omen to the family or to the community, that's why they rush the death. Now this boy is a young man in the prime of his life. He hasn't really even seen anything in life. All he's gotten all his life is suffering, betrayal from people. Like, he has been through a lot, too much for him to be buried in the manner in which he did. Now, social media is where we see everything. Now, seeing everything on social media just makes me wonder how much he was loved. Because I believe if you really loved somebody, when that person dies, you would not even want that the person be buried. He dies less than 24 hours and you're putting him down. And the worst part is the way he was laid to rest. How can somebody suffer all his life? Even in death, he's suffering. Why? Is it that he did not make money while he was alive? Is it that whatever he did while he was alive didn't matter? Or whatever he did didn't really pay? Or I just don't get it. I believe that there is a certain way this burial would have been organized. Your child dies unexpectedly. Just he was fine, everybody saw that he was okay, and then 1 minute he's gone. The next minute you're putting him down. Don't you think an autopsy should be conducted to know what actually caused his death? Are you not worried? Are you not bothered by how he died so young? Okay, you as a father, you're still alive. What do you feel if your child dies? Would you just... Personally, I don't think I would even say they should bury the person immediately. Could have even put him in the morgue and then conducted an autopsy. But he wasn't put in the morgue, nothing. He just died and he was buried. My pain is how he was being buried. He was buried like a common criminal, stuffed into a casket that wasn't even his size. If I'm feeling this way, I don't know how his family members would feel. I don't know this guy personally, just been listening to his music, and I think the first time I got to find out I know him was when the controversy with the Malian group came up, when they were having issues. I think at the other time was when he came up on social media with a lot of bruises on his face, on his body, injuries, accusing the Malians, and a video also came up saying whatever happens to him, the Mali should be held responsible. I don't know whatever went on in that record label and why was he even treated the way he was. He wasn't a criminal. He was a guy who was trying to make an honest living. So is that the price you have to pay for trying to make an honest living? He's being treated the way he did. If you say somebody should do something and the person doesn't want to do it, you let them be, because he's an adult. And he's entitled to his opinion, entitled to his choices, entitled to the things that he wants to do. What gave you the right to want to take that chance or that opportunity, that choice from someone? Probably helped him and brought him to the limelight and you're helping his career, but that doesn't give you enough right to decide that this is what this guy should happen with this guy. And if the guy says no, you let him be. It's his life. He has his choice. If he was going to make a decision, they should have allowed him make his decision, not criminalizing him and making him look like a junkie. Everybody saw him as a junkie. Nobody took him seriously. And a new video that started trending after his death is when he said promoters didn't want to promote him because he had a bad record from his
show promoters.
Show promoters, yeah. They didn't want to pick me for shows because... Should I tell you?
Yeah.
Because I left the label, and if they want to reach out to me, they still go back to the label, and the label keeps saying that boy is not really okay, like he's going through a lot, and the show promoter believe that.
Oh.
Yeah, they do believe that, because you know they didn't speak to me. That
were really lovely. Given how good his music is, I know he gives his best to. I think he gives his best to whatever it is that he did or he was doing. So as somebody who was making furniture, why I don't think even if he was still making furniture and they asked him to make casket for somebody, he would have made the kind of casket that they made for him. Now you're making casket for somebody, you should have at least taken measurements of the size of the person, or you even eyeball it. Now I don't even think they made a casket. They just went to purchase a casket that was too small, and because this casket was too small, they had to bend his neck in such a way that it's so disheartening to see. Like, I've been feeling very terrible after seeing this image, after seeing the way his head was just bent in the casket. My goodness. Even if he did not have money for the casket, as his family members, couldn't they just buy a nice casket for him? A nice casket to put him in. A nice casket that will fit his entire body. How can somebody suffer all through his life and still suffer in death? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? I'm really pained. I know that grave is just something you lay somebody in and nobody really cares. When you're on the ground, when you die, you can't speak, you can't do anything for yourself. I know that. But as humans, we are meant to bury our dead, right? When somebody dies, you give them a befitting burial. How can you give somebody that kind of burial given his status in the society and what he had done to get to that point in his life? So I think he deserved a more befitting burial. He deserved a more befitting casket. He deserved investigations to be done to know what really happened that he died. It's just very sad. I hope desperately that they will decide to do an autopsy to know what happened or what killed him. That isn't a natural death. I know what it feels like to lose somebody very dear to you. I know what it means. That's why I'm pained. To lose somebody that is very close to your heart, I know what it means. It's a very painful thing. And then just burying the person almost immediately, like you're waiting for him to die, or you were just praying that, okay, die, and then he dies. Next minute you take him to the grave, so that probably they will not know what killed him. How can you just go and put somebody down like that? You don't only putting him down, you go and bend his head. Whoever did that thing has no fear of God. True. Whoever did it has no conscience. If it was him or her that they put in a casket like that, would they be happy? They just stuffed him there like sardine. As if the whole of Ikorodu, there was no place they sell casket that would fit, would be good for him. I'm very pissed at the person who put him in that casket. I'm so angry. That the last casket in Ikorodu. Or are the casket makers on strike? So bottom line of all of this is, I hope his family does something about this. I hope his family would be able to do an autopsy on this guy. Let's know what happened. And when he was having all these threats, he even filed a complaint at the police station. But nothing was done. Nothing was done. Now that he's dead, they are now carrying out investigations. How nice. Nobody stood up for this guy. Aside from Bella's mother. Nobody. So he lived a horrible life, a painful life, a life of depression, a life of hurt, and died. And in death, they still want to cause him pain. Everybody has seen how this guy has suffered in this life. Everybody has seen how this guy has suffered. So why would you want to bury him the way people did? Is the suffering not enough for you? He's probably resting with God now, and he has no business with whatever is going on. But justice needs to be served. We need to know what happened. We need to know what killed him or who killed him. And that person has to be punished. I'm no judge. I can't judge anybody. But I just pray that Mohbad's soul rest in peace with God Almighty. And may God forgive him whatever his shortcomings was in every way that he offended God. May God forgive him and accept his soul.